to the progressive can't get it out soapbox. I've had a very long day, and but it ended well. Americans are being scammed, and I'm staying with that. And let's go from there, because I don't know how long my camera is going to hold out. Um, so one of the things with travel is prescription drugs. Now, I don't have that many prescriptions. I think I have, for all intents and purposes, about two. Um, but they're the two that are kind of need. They deal with issues of pain, so something like gabapentin or tramadol. Now, my doctor didn't want to send that, and to be honest, this was my bad because I should have gotten as much as I needed. Now, getting as much as you needed is somewhat risky because in Egypt you can get arrested for that. There was a woman that got locked up for trying to get a bunch. So I had a practical issue. How do you get medication when you need medication, especially medication as such? Because if I'm being honest, I turn into a horrible person when I'm in constant pain. This thick pain in my head. It's like somebody stabbing you. Um, and so it becomes a practical issue. So this morning was essentially, after a horrible night, was spent with me trying to find a doctor here in Israel. And after finding a doctor in Israel, getting a prescription from that doctor, and then taking that prescription um, to get it filled. Now, this is where this gets interesting. This is several videos, if I'm being honest. Everything going down to this thing of the cognitive dissonance that you experience in a country like this. But in this very specific case, I get down to the pharmacy and I say, God, this is going to hurt. I said, how much? Yeah, I said, this is going to be painful because I need to get a prescription that I know in the United States hurts. It hurts. It's painful every time you have to get it. It's painful if you don't have insurance. I think I paid $10. No insurance, no anything. $10. Two prescriptions. Prescriptions that I would normally pay probably several $100s for in the United States. $10. I asked the guy, I said, because most people speak English here, so it's not one of those things where you're, completely disassociated from the individual that you're dealing with. And he says, yeah, most Americans say that. And at that point, I go into, like, God, Americans, we're being screwed. And he kind of shakes his head, yeah, you are. Because what the rest of the world knows is that if you allow health insurance companies or drug companies to make a determination on how much you're going to pay without having some edifice to get in to say, okay, we're going to negotiate for the price, you're going to get hosed. You have cancer, pay me. You have this disease that you need some kind of drug for, pay me. I don't care that it hurts, pay me. At the end of the day, it always boils down to pay me. And at the point where the person says, pay me, and it's, well, this hurts, or this is cancer, or my kid has a broken bone, or I need this sewn back on, are you going to really quibble about the price? Are you really going to quibble about the price? If you had a government that was looking out for your best interests, that government that would be looking out for your best interests, oh, this is not my bus. The government that was looking out for your best interests would negotiate the cost of those drugs. So a Medicare, for example, would say, a perfect example. The U.S. government comes out and the U.S. government says, from here on out, you can't buy any drugs from anybody else. You have one person who buys the drugs from, and that's us. Meaning, if a drug company wants to sell this product in the United States, it has to sell that product to the United States, in which case the United States government could then make a determination on how much those things cost and drop the price of those drugs. Or, for that matter, have Medicare make the negotiating position. All I'm saying is, we have barred Medicare from being able to negotiate from drug costs. And in barring Medicare from being able to negotiate from drug costs, we've allowed American citizens to essentially be prey to a rapacious bunch of greedy men who want to maximize their profit at the expense of your kids' broken bones and foibles and breaks while arm hurts. I'm in Israel. I'm in, I think it's called like Modi. It's an intermediary between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. Look, my point is basic. We're being hosed. We're being utterly hosed. And you see it in real terms when you actually need medical care. And you go to the doctor writes your prescription, and you go down to get the prescription, and you're like, oh my God, this is how much it costs? This is how much it costs? And he says, yes. Same drug, yes. Does the same thing, yes. It gets rid of the pain, yes. Gets rid of pain, and say yes. That's a different video. Oh God, that's a different video. That is a different video. My main point in this video is that there are some Americans that for whatever reason is standing by the Republican Party on this. The Republican Party on this are fucking you over. They're supporting people who are fucking you over. You should not be paying the amount of money that you're paying for drugs. And it becomes clear. I don't know what bus this is. There's no number on the bus. There's no number on the bus. All right. I'm going to end this. Last night was a hellish night. I ran out of pain meds. So going back when I was 17 years old, 19, I don't know how long the camera is going to last. When I was 19 years old, kidney failure. My kidney failure started when I was 17. And you can imagine if you're 17 years old and you have kidney failure and they say you have a condition that's going to be with you for the rest of your life. Well, you're 17 years old. You know, you do what you got to do. You party, you smoke pot, you do all sorts of stuff. And one of the things is, at least for me, I wasn't necessarily doing treatments. So I would have conflicts with my doctors. I don't like, even back then, I didn't like this thing where this guy's over top of you telling you what to do. Now, that said, there's certain hard limitations from the standpoint of the body, because regardless of what, intellectual stuff you have from the standpoint of your doctors, at the end of the day, there's certain physical limitations. Well, one of those physical limitations is that you need some level of treatment. 16, 17, whatever, you still need treatments. I went for like over a month on one occasion, but this ended up being this is consequences. So one of the consequences at the time was losing your ability to walk to some degree. Like the nerves in your leg level up to the point where they're almost unusable. So needing kind of like walking stilts and stuff like that for several years. At some point, it grew back. Now, this was a factor of youth. This wasn't a factor of anything else. If I was any other age, that shit wouldn't have happened. But being 17 years old when all this stuff happened, there's a certain resiliency within the individual at that age. Part of the thing that didn't come back, however, was the nerve or the sensation of the nerves. And that's where we get into an issue. Even though the musculature, meaning the ability to walk and move and everything else came back, the part that didn't come back, at least not fully, was this thing of things feeling normal and just being. Meaning if you're not doing anything, then you're not necessarily having any weird sensations in your feet. Well, that part didn't come back all that well. So because that didn't come back all that well, there's certain pills that you use to make that sensation stop. Now, while you're in the United States, there's no issue. The moment that you leave the United States, then the question becomes, all right, how are you going to get your hands on the things that makes the pain stop? Well, that's a fucking interesting question. And then your doctor's freaked out by the whole thing. He's like, yeah, I don't feel like I'm going to write a prescription. It's like, so you believe that the moment that the person leaves the country, that for whatever reason, that the person no longer requires a prescription. Okay. I don't understand that logic, but fair enough. But whatever. You can't do anything about that. It's kind of like a military thing. You have a problem? Fix the problem. All right, I'm going to end this because people are looking at me weird. We're getting hosed in the States. Just saying, we're getting hosed in the States. So anybody that's arguing against Medicare for all and against having the United States government negotiating for drug costs, you need to get out the country once in a while and see how other people do it. you are getting hosed. You are getting magnificently hosed. I was able to get prescription drugs that typically cost $300-400 for like $10. You're getting hosed. All right, guys. You all have a good one. I'll see you guys shortly. I'll be vlogging throughout the course of the day. We're getting a flight um, in a few. I'm waiting on the bus. Whenever the bus comes, the guys are supposed to be here at 1 o'clock. So I'll see you guys shortly. Thanks all.